Welcome to this week. No, not welcome to this week's Ask the Team. Welcome to the Q1 High Value Home Update for Cheshire, the Wirral and North Wales. So let's get straight into the November budget.
So the big news that came out of the budget was what used to be called the mansion tax, which really is effectively an additional council tax band, isn't it, for high value homes. Now that's not due to come in until 2028. That starts to come in a staged fashion for homes from £2 million and above, doesn't it?
Yes. So the first category is anything over 2 million, starts at 2,500. Then it steps up over 2.5 million. It goes up to 3,500, and then it steps up again 2.5 million. It will go to 5,000 a year, and then over 5 million is 7,500 a year.
On one hand, it doesn't sound an awful lot of money, but no doubt people will for 7-figure homes. It will be a factor. Certainly as you climb above 2.5 and 3 million, that'll be a factor when people think about making offers, budgeting for ongoing costs, resale values and so on. So we do expect that to have an impact. However, quite a lot of work to do before 2028, and not least of which is quite significant questions about how these homes are valued. And as we know, that's not an exact science. So who will do the valuation? What will it be based on? Whose opinion will you go for? One person's versus another. So there is a view maybe that, will we ever get there?
As soon as we know more information on how it's going to be valued, we will of course let you know. Second change was, it was no change. The second point is there was no change to any stamp duty.
Yeah, exactly. And it's happened before when there's been some holidays, changes to stamp duty, land tax. So I think people were hoping that there might be something thrown out of the budget. It wasn't. So again, bit of a damp squib again, and we just carry on.
The third impact, of course, is property income tax. So another 2%.
Yeah, and it feels like for property investors out there, it feels a bit like another nail in the coffin. This is effectively for income or earned income through the letting of residential properties effectively.
And often people who've got high value homes, they do have complicated tax arrangements. You're right, it's another 2%. So on basic rate, it's from 20% to 22%. High rate tax, 40% to 42%. And then, of course, the additional rate is going from 45 to 47%. Another reason for landlords to increase rents and pass on.
See happening with renters' rights, which we may touch on later on.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, which is coming in the end of May this year. So there's lots of landlords preparing for that. And as Lisa said, passing on that 2% is the obvious one. So it's unintended consequences, unfortunately, possibly not thought through, because that was obvious where that was going to go.
And I think, great to touch on renters' rights. That is big news for landlords. If you do need any guidance or help with that, please do reach out to us. And also, we're going to be doing a webinar in the coming month, making tax digital. So again, another change that landlords have got to be aware of.
And personally speaking, I think that's been overshadowed a little bit by renters' rights. The focus has been very much on that. Making tax digital for self-employed or who earns income over £50,000 through property outside of a limited company, you will need to do all of your accounts quarterly and online and make submissions. So don't underestimate that as somebody who goes through that process. Especially if you don't have the support of an accountant. I think that is quite a significant change, and I really highly recommend attending that webinar.
Yes. So the fourth change, the frozen tax threshold and wider tax changes.
This is that ongoing, we talk about fiscal drag, don't we? So why thresholds not changing over time, more and more people are pulled into paying higher rates of tax or tax, even the lower rates as well. So it doesn't get talked about a huge amount because it's effectively, it sounds like no change, but actually over time it has an impact on people and home buyers.
And it's frozen until April 31, so really, a considerable amount of time. Important to note. So let's get on to the positive stuff. The early market trends for 2026, the numbers on viewings this January versus last January, and we're 245% over where we were January last year. Wow.
Yeah, and it feels like clearly an awful lot of that is pent-up demand.
Yes.
From people deciding to do little or nothing at the end of last year due to the budget. Those buyers who've been out there, they've come now to the market in higher volumes than we've previously seen in a January. And often it's more of a ripple effect, isn't it? So early on in January, you get people sort of first-time buyers, and it's the sort of lower end of the market, which eventually ripples upwards. But actually, over the last couple of weeks, we've seen all aspects of the market, all areas of the market have started, to be quite busy. So very promising signs.
Very, very promising. And over, 1.5 million, really, really busy. So, not just...
It was a very challenging part of the market.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
We've done like a green, amber and red prediction, haven't we? Pretty much everything under that 1.5 million, absolute green.
Yeah, I think it's safe to go. I know lots of talk is always about spring. As Lisa said, there is demand out there now. So I think if you're over in mind to move and you've got a home underneath 1.5 million, I don't think there's anything particularly stopping you. Green to go, have a conversation, get your home ready, or think about bringing it to the market sooner rather than later.
And I think amber and red is really just about homes around the 2 million that are reducing. And that is meaning that they are, getting sold and moving on. I think there's also awful lot of demand for off-market. It was big news last year, lots of homes sold off-market, but it's continued into this year. When you've got a home over, say, 2.5 million, it's absolutely advisable to do as much as you can off-market.
I think it's just a slight caution. I think there are some beautiful homes out there with quite spectacular grounds and gardens, and quite rightly, it may be best to show those off in spring. But actually, there will be some movement in terms of prices, as you said, people preparing for the mansion tax implications and wanting maybe to tweak their prices, bring them underneath certain thresholds. It's a case of let's have a conversation, see where we're going from a value perspective, do some stuff off market with a view that maybe we'll know a little bit more as we head towards spring, or certainly we'll see where the market is in terms of bands and pricing and so on. So just a bit of caution, probably at the higher end, hence the kind of amber and red.
But it's good to be early spring because there's an awful lot of homes come to the market in spring, and so why not sell before all of those homes flood the market? So let's move on to interest rates.
Again, I think thinking about the market for this year, a bit of a crystal ball, but if you read some, lots of the freely available financial information, it seems like the market is pricing in hopefully 2 reductions in interest rates, which would be fantastic. 3.75 now. Some people talking about getting down to 3%. To a certain extent, that's good. I mean, that's good news. It's certainly good news for first-time buyers, and also that is still a meaningful number when it comes to high value homes as well. Quite often at that level it takes maybe 18 months or so for that to ripple through in terms of to feel a full impact as people come off fixed rates and then re-sign up to revised rates. But I think all in all, that positive feeling, doesn't seem to be any more headwinds. I know Trump isn't going anywhere anytime soon, but there are no other headwinds in terms of big financial announcements or budgets that people are worrying about at the moment. So, let's sit tight and hope that we get those reductions in interest rates.
If we can help with any element of your home move, please do reach out to us. We do have a VIP buyers club as well, so it might be that you're interested in seeing some of the properties that come to the market before they actually launch onto the portals. Or if we can, there's never any pressure with us. If you would like us to come out, give you a view on value, we'd absolutely love to do that too. Or if we can help in relation to renters' rights, or if you're a landlord, again, please do reach out to John or I, or indeed any of the rest of the team, and we'd be delighted to help. See you next time.